If you're on death row, what would be your last meal? Hey guys, how's it going? Dudey here. I'm back with another video. In today's video, I want to talk all about death row meals. So I have a list of people. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over their crime very briefly, and then we're going to get to what they had for their final requested meal. Okay, let's jump into death row meals. Okay, so we're going to begin with John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy was executed in a prison in Illinois in 1994. John Wayne Gacy, born March 17th, 1942, was an American serial killer and sex offender who assaulted and murdered at least 33 young men and boys. Gacy regularly performed at children's hospitals and charitable events as Pogo the Clown or Patches the Clown. Personas he had devised, he became known as the Killer Clown due to his public services as a clown prior to discovery of his crimes. So that is John Wayne Gacy in a nutshell. But what was his final meal? His final meal consisted of a dozen fried shrimp, a bucket of original recipe KFC fried chicken, a pound of strawberries, and some French fries. That was John Wayne Gacy's final meal. Okay, up next we have Ted Bundy. Now, Ted Bundy was executed in Florida in 1989. Ted Bundy was an American serial killer who raped, kidnapped, and murdered approximately 30 girls and women throughout the mid-1970s. Widely described as polite and charming, he evaded detection for years. So what was Ted Bundy's final death row meal? So Ted Bundy actually declined a final meal. So he was given, but didn't eat, a traditional steak, medium rare, eggs over easy, hash browns, toast, milk, coffee, juice, butter, and jelly. Now, can I just say, as a Brit, that I do not understand the whole steak and eggs thing. I think that is very much an American thing. I'm not a massive steak man. Personally, I've had very good steaks. To me, it's just a slab of meat. I know there'll be comments down below saying, well, you just haven't had the right steak, which you might be right, but I've eaten some very nice restaurants and I've tried very nice steaks, and to me, it's still just a slab of chewy meat. But, you know, that's just me. But I would never think to slap an egg on top. Now, that could be the thing that I'm missing. Who knows? I'll give it a go. I'll give a steak and egg a go. But, yeah, that was Ted Bundy's final meal, which he didn't eat, so it wasn't his final meal. It was the last meal he was provided. Okay, next up we have Philip Workman, who was executed via lethal injection in Tennessee in 2007. In 1981, at 28 years old, Workman was living with his wife and 8-year-old daughter in Columbus, Georgia, and was heavily addicted to cocaine. That summer, he hitchhiked to Memphis, where on August the 5th, 1981, he robbed a Wendy's restaurant with a .45 caliber semi-automatic pistol. During the robbery, an employee of the restaurant triggered a silent alarm after Workman granted her request to stand up to relieve a cramp in her leg. 3 Memphis police officers, Ronald Oliver, Aubrey Stoddard, and Stephen Parker, responded to the alarm. Upon their arrival, Workman attempted to flee across the nearby parking lot, then shot and killed Lieutenant Ronald Oliver. So that was Workman's crime. What was his final meal? Now, interestingly, Workman declined a final meal for himself. Instead, he requested that a large vegetarian pizza be given to a homeless person in Nashville, Tennessee. Now, this was apparently denied by the prison itself. However, it kind of created a little movement where people across the country were fulfilling this request and handing out vegetarian pizzas to homeless people across America, which is nice that, you know, something positive came out of such an abhorrent crime. Next up, we have Alton Coleman. He was executed by lethal injection in Ohio in 2002. Alton Coleman, born November 6, 1955, was an American serial killer who, along with accomplice Deborah Brown, committed a crime spree across 6 states in the Midwest between May and July of 1984 that resulted in the deaths of 8 people. Coleman, who received death sentences in 3 states, was executed by the state of Ohio in 2002. So, what was Alton's final meal? So he asked for a well-done filet mignon steak covered in mushrooms, fried chicken breasts, a salad with French dressing, sweet potato pie with whipped cream, French fries, collard greens, onion rings, cornbread, broccoli with melted cheese, biscuits and gravy, and a cherry Coca-Cola. Now again, the Brit in me, I know that those biscuits aren't biscuits. Because biscuits are what you dunk in your tea, but I believe... Are biscuits in America? They're like the double sausage and egg McMuffin, like the sausage in the double sausage and egg McMuffin, because they have double biscuit and egg McMuffin, right? Is that right? I'm pretty sure biscuits in America are like meat patties, aren't they? So when it says biscuits and gravy, it hasn't got like some McVitie's hobnobs dipped in gravy, but you know that is a final meal of a man with quite a palate, and the cherry Coca-Cola just tops it off. Okay, we have two more today. James Autry. He was executed via lethal injection in Texas in 1984, and why I didn't do this in chronological order, I will never know. Autry had been convicted of shooting 43-year-old Port Arthur convenience store clerk Shirley Drowlett between the eyes with a .38 caliber pistol on April 20th, 1980. He then shot two witnesses in the head, one of whom, Joe Brossard, a Roman Catholic priest, died instantly, while the other, Athanasios Svanas, a Greek seaman, survived but was left with permanent brain damage. The crime had been committed with John Alton Sandifer, Autry's roommate. Although no money was missing from the cash register, a carton of beer valued at $2.70 was missing. All of those people dying, and just $2.70 of beer was stolen. What was this man's final meal? Very simple. Very, very simple. A hamburger, French fries, and a Dr. P. I do love Dr. Pepper. That is as simple as it comes, and yeah, just hamburger, fries, Dr. Pepper. What I want you to do, guys, let me know down below. Obviously, we've still got one more, but let me know down below which final meal, if you had to select one of these, which one would you select? And then also tell me what your dream final meal would be. You don't have to necessarily be on death row, but if you knew it was going to be your last meal, what would you order? Victor Feguer, the final one today. Now, when I found where he was executed, it just said federal government via hanging in 1963. Feguer was a drifter native to the state of Michigan. In the summer of 1960, Feguer arrived in Dubuque. Dubuque? D-U-B-U-Q-U-E. How do you pronounce that? It's in Iowa. Renting a room at a decrepit boarding house. Soon after arriving, Feguer began phoning physicians alphabetically from the local yellow pages and found Dr. Edward Bartles. Feguer claimed that a woman needed medical attention. When Dr. Bartles arrived, Feguer kidnapped and killed him in Illinois. Now, the reason I selected this guy is because his final meal... If you thought a hamburger, fries, and a Dr. Pepper was simple, this guy's final meal was an olive with the pit still inside. A singular olive, not even pitted. It's not a pip, it's a pit. A single olive. He had a singular olive for his final meal. So there we go, guys. What do we think about the death row meals that you have heard today? Which one would you select if you had to choose just one? And what would be your ideal final meal? I would love to know. These sort of things just fascinate me, like the details around true crime also fascinate me. You know, their final words when they're in the executioner's chair, the final meal, all these sorts of things absolutely fascinate me. So if they fascinate you too, hit that subscribe button, like, share, all that good stuff. I will see you very soon, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Sweet one, geese.